Howdy, howdy. So you guys, we are back for December. Do you believe it? It is already December. Honestly, I don't know where the time has gone this year. It's crazy, I swear. The older that I get, the older that we tend to get, it seems to be that the faster that time goes. It is crazy. All right, so let's jump right into our December setup. So for this month, we are using mostly the Holly Jolly collection from Simple Stories. I have added one paper that I just love, and this is from My Mind's Eye, and it's just a really pretty neutral, and I loved the black in there. The Traveler's Notebook cover that I'm using this month is the Black Watch Plaid, and for December I brought in two different holiday looking Traveler's Notebook. So one was that black, ooh, you can't see that at all. One was the Black Watch Plaid, the one that I have there. The other one is the Buffalo Plaid, and that you can kind of see, oh, there we go, the Buffalo Plaid. So this would be really fun for December, but I think could also be really fun into maybe January and February too, as you kind of have a little bit more of the wintry looking months and colors there. All righty, so the Black Watch Plaid. The other thing I will mention, I also brought in some special inserts for the holidays. These are lined inserts. So one is Buffalo Plaid. The other one is kind of that little bit Black Watch Plaid. And those you will find on the website. And I also will put links to those in the description of the video. All right. So let's get started. Oh, you know what? I just realized something I need. Hang tight. Okay, I'm back. Silly me. I can't very well do a setup without having a traveler's notebook. So now we have a blank traveler's notebook. And we will go ahead and actually, let me just reorganize a few things here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and trim the papers. We'll start like we always do. So we have 3 papers as usual. Bring the trimmer in. That one-handed this is a beast of a trimmer, but I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Having a guillotine trimmer, which that's what this is, with the arm like that, just makes for the perfect cut every time. And no blade too dull. All right, so let's see. We're going to cut off the product strip first. And we need to trim that to 8 1/4 because 8 1/4 is the height of our inserts. There we go. We'll also trim this guy to 8 because I'm going to use that one inside of my inside pocket. And then this guy right here, we will also trim. We'll trim off the product strip. Trim that one to 8 1/4. And then we will trim our 3x4 cards. So I mentioned that in my last video, the November video, that I had been traveling quite a bit teaching, which I always love to do. That's my favorite thing. I love to teach and I love to be out there and meeting lots of new people and yeah, it's just so fun. So I was in, gosh, let's see, 3-week stint. Started with teaching at a kind of big crop in Colorado. And that one I taught, my friend Vicki was there, and then Paige Evans was there. that I went out a little bit early. Vicky and I both went out a little bit early. She is from the kind of Toronto, Canada area. And, oops, didn't quite get that one cut very well. Oh, that's okay. I won't use it. Um, anyhow, so went out a day early. So flew out on a Thursday. Then taught on, let's see, one class on, I think one class Friday, one class Saturday. And then the event ended Sunday late afternoon. We went back to the airport, picked up a car, and then Vicky and I spent Monday in downtown Denver in a really cool area called the Rhino Art District, looking at lots of different murals. There's so many cool murals there. So we did that, and then I flew home Tuesday. So I was home 2 days and then flew to Spokane, Washington. And I taught at a store in Spokane called Three Craft Chicks. And that was loads of fun. So I was there Friday through Monday. And then I was home for 1 day and then flew to San Diego and taught at a retreat, an October retreat for Lizzie Lou Creations. And that was really fun. I was there Wednesday to Sunday night. And that was super fun because I just taught one class there. The rest of the time I was like cropping with everybody else. So that was super fun, which I don't normally get to do. Alrighty, so as I mentioned in the November video, I was really, really, really glad to have had my dental issues when I did, because I am not traveling this week. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do in our pockets. For December, we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. So we need the Santa card, we need the Joy card, and we need the hang on a minute. Oh, there we go. I panicked for a minute. I'm like, how did I do that? We also need the Christmas tree card. So I wondered if I had not included something in your kit that you needed, which that would not have been good. Oh, and then one more card. There's actually quite a bit of fussy cutting in this one. And then the ho 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 card. And then, oh gosh, also the Santa. That would be Snowman, Layle. All right. So those are the cards that we need for fussy cutting. So I have pulled out a pair of scissors that I love to fussy cut with. And I have a link to these also, the favorites on my website. So when I get to the point of using those, we'll talk about why I like those. So here, I'm just going to use the big scissors. And I'm just going to get a little bit around this area. So you can see I basically now just doing big chunks because it'll be a lot easier to get my fussy cutting scissors in there with those big chunks. So there's two kind of fussy cutting types of fussy cutting in my book. There's fussy cutting and then there's stupid fussy cutting. And I know some of you are saying, oh, in my book, Layle, it's all stupid fussy cutting. But fussy cutting really gives us a lot more options when it comes to designs and paper. So here I was able to cut out quite a few of those little images to give it much more of a customized look and really give it more dimension without just having a bunch of cards there. So back to fussy cutting and stupid fussy cutting. Fussy cutting is what I am doing, and that is where I have left some of a border around the edge. See, you can kind of see that light blue border around the edge. And that's a lot easier than trying to get right in tight with that snowman and making sure there's no blue, but then also making sure that my snowman doesn't get really tiny. So that is fussy cutting. Stupid fussy cutting would be if I tried to get right in there. Now, when I get to like these little arms, it is much easier to use my little fussy cutting scissors. And these are kind of like the tweezers I like to use. So they're like reverse. So when you press on them, they open instead of pressing on them. Normally with tweezers, that's how you close them, is to press on them. These are like a spring release scissor. So just lets me get in a little bit tighter. But whatever you have works. So we're fussy cutting here. And as I'm fussy cutting, we'll just chit chat some more. So tonight, this is actually, it is still October. Even though you guys are probably watching this the end of November, I'm recording this at the end of October. And tonight we are headed to, I live in Utah. We are headed to the University of Utah football game. My husband and I are both alumni of the University of Utah, and we have season tickets. So we are heading there tonight with friends. We'll go to dinner first. In my November video, I mentioned that I just had a tooth pulled. So I will be having soup for dinner, which is good. I love soup. And then some wine because, always wine. Anyhow, so we will go to the football game tonight, which will be lots of fun. The weather is supposed to turn pretty drastically later this evening. Now they're saying about 2 a.m. So we're just hoping that it's not earlier. It is a late start, so it's an 8 p.m. start. I think it's televised on ESPN, so they do that for TV. So late start. All right, now we are going to keep on going. We're jumping now over to the ho 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 card. So I'm going to, just like we did before, I'm going to cut some of this out. So I'm not trying to do all of that with my little fussy cutting scissors. We go like this and just keep going and da 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 da. All right, so now back to the plans at hand. It is, let's see. So it's supposed to snow tonight. It's supposed to get, really cold. We're just hoping that that doesn't happen early because the game will probably last until about midnight. And then I have lots of work to do tomorrow and the rest of the week, getting some brand new kits ready. By the time that you guys watch this, the probably end of November, those kits will already have been launched. There are 2 layout kits, 2 kits for December. One using the Simple Stories Say Cheese Christmas collection. The other one using the Simple Stories Holly Jolly collection. Then the other one is a really fun one. It is a file folder mini book kit that I will be teaching mid-November in Southern California at a store called Treasured Memories. And that one is just so fun. It also uses the Heritage collection from Maggie Holmes that we used in the November setup. So I will be getting ready for that. Next Thursday, my husband and I actually fly to Seattle. We will see our son Jack. I mentioned that Jack is going to culinary school up there. He's the older of our 2 boys. He will be 22 in January. Now, because Jack is going to culinary school, he also works at a restaurant. He works at a lobster restaurant on Puget Sound. But because he is in the restaurant industry, busy time of year in the restaurant industry is Thanksgiving and Christmas. So he will not be coming home for Thanksgiving or Christmas, which is sad. We have not had that happen before. So my husband and I will go up next weekend and spend a little bit of time with him. University of Utah is playing football that weekend against University of Washington. So our son Jack, my husband and I will go watch the game on Saturday afternoon at the stadium there at the University of Washington. And we will root for our Utes, University of Utah Utes, and then we will fly home. My husband and I will fly home on Sunday. And then I will be home for 5 days. Then I will fly to Southern California to teach at Treasured Memories. And then I will be home. We're moving on now to the Christmas tree. Then I will be home for 4 days. And I will fly back to Southern California and teach at the Lizzie Lou Christmas Bash. I'll be teaching my Document Your December album kit class, and then I will also be teaching the Holly Jolly layouts. And that, you guys, will wrap up my travel for the year, which is really exciting. Like I said, I love to travel, I love to teach, but fall is always crazy busy for me, starting mid-September through mid-November. Honestly, I am home. I am traveling more than I am home, which is good because I love it and it's so fun. It definitely is a little bit easier now that my husband and I are empty nesters. He travels quite a bit too, so that works for us. Anyhow, so I'm going to just cut off part of those little presents because we're not going to see them. So yes, I have so many projects planned. I need to do a huge purge on my craft room where I do all my design work. And then I need to do a huge purge on kind of my Layle by mail room where I have all of my product and future kits and past kits and lots of supplies and different things like that. So I'm very much looking forward to that and doing some new videos, kind of how-to videos, lots of planning for 2020. I have on my website, I have a page that I think is called Upcoming Events and Upcoming Classes. And that page it shows you details everywhere that I will be teaching in 2020 so far. You guys, I think there's already 13 on there. I'm teaching quite a bit again next fall. Next fall is always super busy. And then some in the spring, and then I will continue to add to that. So if you do things besides traveler's notebooks, if you scrapbook or like to do mini books and things like that, you can go and look at that page and see where I'll be and how to get more information about those classes. But also in December, I will obviously, actually probably towards the tail end of November, I will be designing the January-February Traveler's Notebook Kit. So I will continue to do these bi-monthly Traveler Notebook Kits for 2020 because they're so fun. I love them. It's right up my alley. I use them, and I know lots of you do too. So that's kind of fun. So we'll continue that. And I already have a good idea of what I'm going to do for, well, I already know what I'm doing for January. And for February, well, January will be winter, but I think I already know the collection I'm going to use for that. And then February, Valentine's. So I'm looking at a couple of different collections for that. Okay, we're almost done with our fussy cutting. The last one we want to do is this joy card. Now, a lot of times we don't use the horizontal 3x4 cards because we're stuffing pockets. We're stuffing vertical pockets and they don't necessarily fit. In this case, we're going to use it on one of our inserts. So again, we're not stupid fussy cutting. And generally, the way the designs of the cards work, whatever the background is, still looks really nice as a little, thin background. So as you can see that looks nice. We still have a little bit of the green on there. It would be crazy if I was trying to, with my scissors, get right up tight and not have any green showing up tight. You guys, that is what would happen if we were trying to do stupid fussy cutting. We would all get up tight. What I meant to say was if I was trying to get in close and not have any of the green showing, that would just get to be a little bit crazy. And then, I don't know about you guys, and I should have had my readers out for this because I need them to see, so who knows what it's actually going to look like when I'm done, but we'll get the gist. Where was I? Oh, if I was trying to not have any green, I would be cutting off. I'd be cutting into some of those letters. When that happens, you can't quite get right where you mean to cut. I'd be cutting into some of those letters, and then they would look funny, and yeah, that'd be yucky. So I love to fussy cut. I find it really relaxing. We're not in a hurry here, so you guys can press pause anytime. You can do your fussy cutting whenever you'd like. Sometimes it's fun to be doing some of your fussy cutting if you are like binge watching something on Netflix, watching This Is Us, although This Is Us you really have to pay attention to. I love that show. So you can see I'm not getting too tight in on the wreath. Good news, I'm also not cutting out the center of the wreath. If you want to do that, knock your socks off. You can fussy cut the center of the wreath, but I am going to pass on that because what we end up putting this on, the insert that we end up putting this on, I think it would look kind of funny. I mean, it's going to be a red stripe or like kind of a burgundy stripe, but I think it would be too busy. So I'd like to keep that green background there. but you can decide what you'd like to do. We just fussy cut away. These little scissors seriously make it so nice. They're made by a company called, I think it's called Elizabeth Designs. I need to make a mental note to go check the link. I think I've linked directly to the company, either there or Amazon, just to make sure. I've seen them go in and out of stock a couple times, so I will double check the link in case you are looking for some fussy cutting. In case you're looking for some fussy cutting scissors, then you can find those. All right, we are just about ready to wrap up here. With this particular month, I'm going to show a couple different things. Some stickles, which I've used a couple times in the past, which is kind of a glitter glue. And then also we'll need a little bit of liquid adhesive. So before we get too far into decorating the pockets, you'll need a little bit of liquid adhesive. And I will link to the one that I use. It's by a company called Nouveau. They make lots of fun things, but their liquid adhesive is like my very favorite because it dries very quickly. It is clear drying and it has a really small nozzle, so it tends not to clog. Now, a little interesting tidbit about Nouveau. They stop shipping a lot of their products in the winter months because they tend to freeze depending on where they are going in shipment. So that's just kind of a little FYI. Sometimes it gets a little bit harder to find some of their products in the winter months. Just depends on where you're ordering them from, or the scrapbook store that you may buy from, if they have, already have them in stock. All right, what a mess we have made. So let me get this kind of all off to the side so it's not getting in our way. I do not have a little garbage can with me where I'm sitting, so let's just try to do that. Otherwise, it'll be all over the floor. Okay, now let's see how we doing on our video. Always like to check to make sure we're good. Okay, we're still recording. All right, that's all. This is gonna be a long video because we just spent a lot of time fussy cutting there, but it'll go quick after this point. All right, so now let's go back to our cards, and we're gonna start with the Jingle All the Way. And don't mind that insert. That's just the insert that came in my traveler's notebook, so that's not one that we'll be using. So a little bit of outlining there. Jingle all the way. Da, 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 da. Then, what is that little one I used the back? Oh, goodness. Okay, so I don't need to know. Let's just say I used the back of that one. So we are not using these 5 cards. 'Tis the season, the houses, the ornaments, believe in the magic of Christmas, and nice until proven naughty. Those are all the cards we are not using. So here we're going to take one of those cards, doesn't matter which one, we're going to turn it over to this side. And I need to just make it a little bit thinner. So I'm going to cut, I don't know, about 3/4 of an inch off. I will also outline that one as well. But those are the only full cards that we are using in our pockets for this month. Everything else we have fussy cut. So we'll be using a combination of fussy cut little images and of some stickers. All right, so you guys, this configuration, this is a little bit different than the Carpe Diem one. So if you're using the Carpe Diem has an extra pocket right here. So if you're using that one, basically you're just going to not put anything in that back pocket. So that will go there, and this guy will go right in here. Now we will take our little present. Our present is going to kind of go right here. You're going to kind of see it say Jingle All the Way, but kind of not. Oh, you know what? This little part we're still seeing, so let's just cut that off. I always like to leave a little bit more of a base, like I did here, so that there's more for it to stick inside the pocket, so it doesn't have something to kind of anchor onto. All right, those 2 things. Then here, our little Santa's going to go right there. Same thing, I kind of left a little bit of a base on him. And then our ho 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 will come down here. Our little fussy cut snowman will come right here. I especially left a big base on him. So, our fussy cut snowman. All right, so those are all the cards that we are going to have in the pockets. Now we will add the stickers. So the little joy we're going to save, and the reindeer we're going to save for our inserts. So let's bring in our stickers, and we will start with up here. There's kind of a big blank space there. So we're going to take a snowflake, and this little word strip that says "'Tis the Season." And they will go right up here. Tuck that right in there. So, 'tis the season. Alrighty. Then we are going to take, I love the little reindeer in here. He's so cute. Well, I don't know, this one looks a little bit more feminine to me. We're going to call her a she. And she's going to go right there. And then that little snowman looks kind of lonely. So we're going to pick this other snowman sticker. Whoopsie. Don't rip his arm off. And this little guy will just kind of go right in there, right behind him. So now he has a friend. Then this blank space right here, that's always a fun one to decorate. So we are going to use this flower sticker. We're going to use the Merry Christmas. And we're going to use the So Very Merry. That little guy right there. All right, so let's move that off to the side. And we will put this one kind of down right here. And alrighty, so every once in a while we have a little bit of a technical glitch, and we just had one. So as I am filming, and I've learned this along the way, every so often I duck my little head underneath to make sure that we're still recording. And when I did that, there was a nice little message on my phone that said, "Your phone is full." So if you didn't know, and if you take videos on your phone, and if you take long videos on your phone that are an hour, and you get too many of them in there, and you go to delete them, and you have deleted them, your phone actually keeps everything that you delete in a file for about 30 days before it actually deletes it. So my phone was full, even though I had deleted many videos. They were still in that 30-day window where your phone looks like they're deleted, but they're not really deleted. So I guess sometimes that may come in handy if you accidentally delete something that you didn't mean to. Anyhow, so I already did a few of these things, and luckily we didn't get too far down that road, because I have had that happen where I had to start all over again. Anyhow, so I'm just going to talk through the few things that I did. So when we last ended, inadvertently, I was putting these two stickers on right here. So I put the flower sticker and that Merry Christmas sticker. Then we added the So Very Merry, and we had already pulled off that sticker from our sticker sheet. We pulled all three of those together. In your little embellishment baggies was this cute little layered reindeer sticker. So we took that off and put that right there on our traveler's notebook. Then in your kits, you have some of these red pearls, and we used 3 of those little red pearls. Right there is our little holly on that card. So you can go ahead and pull those little guys off. And if you need to pause the video while you do that, then you can do that and come back. All right, welcome back if you happen to pause. From there, I added these glitter star sticker at the top of the tree. All right, luckily that was as far as I got, because what I was just getting ready to start talking about were stickles. Stickles are glitter glue. Stickles is glitter glue, and it comes in these little bottles, and depending on where you get them, anywhere from $2 to $2.50 a bottle. And this is, you guys, magic in a bottle. My very, 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 very favorite color that I use all the time on everything. And it's actually 2 different colors, but I've done some testing and they're basically the same exact color. One is called Mercury Glass and one is called Platinum. And I will also include links to both of those in the description for the video. But I used this in a couple of places throughout. Now this is obviously something that you can do optional if you have any kind of stickles and you want to use stickles or any other glitter glue. You have any color that you want to use, you can use. But that's a really fun one. And it's a really good mix between a gold and a silver. platinum or mercury glass. All right, so I decorated just a few little dots on the tree. So you can kind of see that right there. I also did this little bow. Now we're not there yet. So let's work now on our inside pocket. Then we'll work on the inserts and I'll show you that again. Okie dokie, we still good? Hope so. All right, so the inside pocket. Oh, I know, before I finish here, one thing that I usually do is I like to get out my little tape runner and just put a little bit of, a little strip of tape runner behind those pieces so they don't move. We spend a lot of time making our little traveler's notebook so cute, and we want those things to stay in place for the month while we're using it. So I would do that at this point. All righty, so now we are going to come to this piece. This is the back side of that pattern paper that we had already cut for one of our inserts. This we're going to use to decorate the inside of our little pocket there. But the way that it is, it's just kind of plain. I mean, it's cute, but it's kind of plain. So what we're doing is we're going to take this ribbon that was in your little embellishment baggie. Now it is 12 inches. We only need about 8. So you can go ahead and cut it down to 8 if you are doing this. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys can't hear what's going on upstairs. I am now going, I'll explain that in a sec. I am going to now put just a little bit of adhesive along that strip, that little liquid adhesive, and then we'll go ahead and hear that. My husband just came back from the Home Depot, and he said, oh my gosh, wait till you see what I got. Well, if you've taken a class from me in person in the last few months, you know, because I've talked about this, Sam, who is our freshman in college, used to help me with my kitting. He would do all kinds of, well, he'd basically put all the kits together for me. And now he's at college, so he can't help anymore. My husband is a saint, you guys. Well, in many ways, but he now helps me kit. And one of his little jobs is to cut all the ribbon and cut things like this. And very quickly, I'm going to put this in here. Very quickly, he decided that the way that I was cutting ribbon was not very productive because I had a yardstick or a 12-inch ruler. And if something needed to be shorter than 12 inches, it wasn't because I only had a 12-inch ruler. I could easily do 6 inches because I could just wrap around a ruler a bunch of times and cut it in half, and that would give me 6 inches. But he just got back from Home Depot with these long aluminum strips, really like maybe a 1/4-inch aluminum strips. And those are going to now be our measuring instruments. So he's cutting them down to 6 inches and 9 inches and 12 inches and 18 inches and 24 inches and 36 inches. So now those are the things that we will use to cut the ribbon and twine and all kinds of things like that. To make a long story short, I can hear him upstairs, probably in the garage, and he is probably using a Sawzall to cut all those aluminum pieces down to size. I was just hoping that you couldn't hear that because I could hear it, and it was kind of obnoxious. All right, he's very handy and very clever, and so I very much appreciate that about him. So I can't complain, right? All right, now we are going to work on our inserts. So we'll do this one first. Move some of these things out of the way because they're very much in the way. If that was only how I really worked in real life, you guys. If you were constantly watching me, if I was constantly filming, it might be a good thing because then things would be nice and tidy all the time, which they are definitely not. If I showed you upstairs in my scrapbook room right now, my craft room, you guys would be like, oh my gosh. So I mentioned I've been traveling a lot lately. I have partially unpacked from 4 different trips, partially. So I have 4 suitcases right now that are in various stages of being unpacked. And I will get them unpacked this week before I head out again to Seattle. So my scrapbook room, needless to say, is a giant mess because the suitcases are on the floor. There are things falling out of them. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, so this one I am scoring in half. Remember we talked about scoring in the last video, scoring and folding. This one I will definitely fold outside in because I don't want, you really notice the fibers breaking on a black because the black and white, yeah, you really notice that. So I shouldn't have that happen when I fold opposite. And if I do, it'll just be a little bit. There's that one. And then we'll also do the same with this guy. We're folding opposite. We're going to be using that green. We're going to be using the green, so I'm going to fold opposite. Now, the black paper is very sturdy. It's quite a bit thicker than your traditional scrapbook paper, so you may have to score that one a little bit more just to get that score to hold, or to really score, I guess. All right, so there we go. Now we can get that little score pal out of the way. All right, so we're first going to start with this guy. Oh, I left that. Now, the other thing I hear, I am in between, well, long story. I had gone upstairs and then my phone was dying and I was trying to offload the videos and then I needed to charge it and I can't charge my phone the same time that I am recording because it only has that one port and I use the port for a microphone. So I had gone upstairs and I was getting ready, kind of fixing my hair and starting to put my makeup on. So I had turned the music on in our bedroom and I left the music on, so I can hear it, but I think that you guys probably can't hear it. It's probably far enough away, but if you do hear it, then oh well. Okay, this washi, you guys, so fun. This is a washi from Echo Park, and it is so pretty. I just love that, the holly, and it actually goes really well with the theme for this month, and it goes really well with the products that we're using too. Echo Park is the company that makes the 2 new Traveler's Notebooks that I brought in for the holidays, the Buffalo Plaid and the Black Watch Plaid. So just as a little FYI there. Okay, open that back up. Get a little bit more of our washi. All right, now while we're doing this, we might as well do the other one at the same time. So we will take November out. We'll be so sad to see November go. It's so cute. But they're all cute. They're all just fun. And that's what I love, you guys, about the Traveler's Notebooks. They're just these little small bits of happiness, right? A lot of times when you're opening up your Traveler's Notebook, if you're using it for to-do lists and your calendar and things, it's because you're opening it because you have things to do. So before you tackle all the things to do, you get a nice little burst of sunshine or happiness or cheer when it's all decorated cute, right? Makes it a little bit easier to tackle what is inside, at least in my book, in my Traveler's Notebook. Yeah, I get a little silly sometimes, you guys. That's why I love teaching, because there's typically I teach classes that are 3 hours long, and I will get very, not personal. That's going to sound funny. But there's a lot of time, like we have in these little short video snippets, there's a lot of time for me to kind of chit-chat while you guys are working. Something like this, I wouldn't be working on, I'd be teaching, but you guys would be working. And so then I just have a lot of fun just sharing stories and chit-chatting, and that's what really gets things personal. A lot of times, especially if smaller classes, I get to know people in classes a little bit. And some of you I've had the opportunity of meeting, but some of you I haven't. So we'll just have to pretend like we're all here together, sitting across the table from each other and playing. Okay, so now we'll work on this little guy first. This piece that I have left over. So that was what I had left over. It was 3.75 by 12, because that was what was left over after I cut this. Then we cut a piece of that to use right here. So this is what I have left over. This just happens to be the perfect size to fit right there. Isn't that handy? All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere that. Like so. And I've got my stripes running horizontally. Typically prefer horizontal stripes than vertical. That's just my, my preference. And even when it comes to clothes, and I know they say you shouldn't wear horizontal stripes because it makes you look wider up top, but I think they're just usually much more attractive. That's just me though. All right, so there is the base of our little decoration. Then we're going to put the joy right there, right? Isn't that cute? Now you know what I mean when I said I didn't want to cut that out inside because it might look kind of funky behind. So we're just going to take, actually, I'm going to use a little glue stick here. This is a glue stick that is made by Prima, and I like it because it's portable. You can kind of throw it in your pencil pouch or whatever and take it with you. I'll also link that little guy where you can find that one if you need something like that. Okay, so we'll put that about right there. Oopsie. All right. Now, below that, we're going to use two stickers. We're going to use this little one right here that says ho, ho, ho. And then we're going to use part of this scalloped border sticker. So we'll pull that off. The ho, 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 I'm going to put about right there, kind of in the center. And then this little scalloped border sticker, I'm going to just put right down there like that. And I had it overhang the left a little bit, and I'll do the same thing on the right, just so I get a full scallop. Partial scallops bug me. I know that sounds kind of weird, but partial scallops look funny to me. So I've got a full scallop there. And all of that just kind of worked out, all those pieces. The sizing of everything just kind of worked out for us. I love it when that happens. All right. Now I'm going to show you what I did to finish that off. I used two different colors of stickles here. So I used the platinum or mercury glass right there on that bow. And then I used a red for those little berries. So you can kind of see how sparkly that is. So I will link both of those colors in the description for the video in case you want to add a little sparkle to your little insert there. This I forgot to do, so we'll do this really quick, my outlining. And then I know you guys say, well, Layle, but that's black and you don't really see a black, so why would you waste your time doing that? It just looks weird to me, you guys. Just trust me. It looks weird to my little brain. I look at it and I think something's not right, something's off, and that's what it is. All right, so this guy's going to go in there, and I'll just show you. Look at the difference, though. Look at how cute. The one on the right with the little stickles just like jazzes it up a bit. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the stickles. Okay, let's put this in here. Okay, there's our first insert. And now we will go to our second one. So for the second one, oh, this is starting to get, love it when they start to get chunky because there's so much stuff inside. And that's what's happening. This is my monthly calendar, my monthly inserts. And so since I've been adding things to it every month, then it starts to get a little bit chunky. All right, so outlining. Okay, then we're using this cute little reindeer. It looks like maybe Rudolph's girlfriend. And I'm going to say Rudolph's girlfriend because I think Rudolph is a bachelor. I think he's not quite tied down. I think he's a bachelor, but I think this is his girlfriend instead of Rudolph because she has a little flower arrangement in her hair and she just looks much more feminine. So she's going to be the girlfriend. All right, so now I get silly, you guys. It's just me. It's just who I am. All right, this is going to go right here. And you may have noticed, I typically don't center them. I usually go more towards the top than the bottom, and that's just preference. Don't know why I do that. All right, so then we have the little tab sticker right here that says Mary. Whoops. So we'll put that, oh heavens, he's being so loud upstairs. The Mary, and then we're going to do Hey Santa. I sure hope he's in the garage, because if he's in the house, oh, I can just picture the mess he's making. Hey Santa. That's a little song, huh? Hey Santa. I better not sing that because, guys, I do not sing well. I think I may have told some of you this before. Years ago when the boys were little, we'd be driving down the street and I'd be singing a song on the radio. Hey Mom, who sings this? Oh, this is Coldplay. Why don't you let them sing it? Yeah, little comedians. All right, so that's all the stickers that we need there. We're going to use another one of our little pearls here for Rudolph's girlfriend's nose. But you know what? It could be Rudolph because you know what? Male reindeers can wear flowers too, right? There's no rule that says they can't. We're going to use one of those cute little pearls for the nose. And then we're going to use another one of the little star glitter stickers. And that's just going to go kind of right here off of the hay. All right. Now, I did not do anything else, any other decorating on here, but if you wanted, you could, if you have stickles and you're stickling, you could do some stickles on there and it could be lots of fun. All right, so that wraps up the main part of the Traveler's Notebook setup. For those of you that are using the monthly insert, let's now go ahead and let's get that one decorated. And as I've talked about before, this is usually how my process works, you guys. I don't really have a plan, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do or what I'm going to use. I just start kind of looking at some things. A lot of times I like to save the product strips because the product strips are kind of like washi. They are about the same width of washi. So I think we're going to use this guy, and I will rip the end off so it kind of looks like washi. And where's the rest of my washi? Here it is. I'm not sure how this one's going to look though because it is a little bit more transparent. Let's just see. Actually though, I do want to make sure that I do want to go ahead and adhere this guy down first. So we're going to do this. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm actually, let's see what happens if I don't cut it. Might be okay. Yeah, we'll try that one with a non-cut. If it starts to bug me, then I can go back in later and trim it down or separate that little, separate it. All right, let's see. There's my little extra washi. Oh, that's cute. Gosh, you guys, that washi, I love it. Actually, let's pull that back off. And I want it to go a little bit more onto the other page, so we'll unwind that. And we'll go more like this. There. Okay, cute. Oh, that washi is so fun. All right, so now let's bring our stickers back in and see what we are going to do. I do not know offhand. I don't have my watch, my Apple Watch on, and my phone is recording, so I'm not sure which day is the 25th. So I'm just going to pretend. We are going to pretend that this day is the 25th, okay? So if you are decorating this way, if you want that to be on the 25th, number your days before you get there. This is cute too. I like these little elf these little elf legs because it looks like the elf is off the top of the page. So we're going to put that up there. Another thing I like to do when there's small little pieces like this little pine cone, sometimes I like to put them where the numbers go. And it would cover the number, but let's say that's the 7th, that's the 8th, and that's the 9th. That would say 7, that would say 9, and obviously, you know, that's an 8. You don't need an 8 to be there. Oh, this floral. Oh, no, this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll use this one. Too many florals. Too many floral options. But look at that. Doesn't it look like that washi was just made for this collection? 2 different manufacturers, but they work really, really well together. I love that. All right, so let's see now. Lots of stickers. So what do we want to do? Oh, tree. The tree's fun. So let's put the tree. How about if we put the tree right there? And presents. We could put a present. Oh, I know. Let's do like a few presents. We'll do 2 of those little presents. So these little presents can kind of go next to each other like that. Overlap. Oh, and then I know probably the last thing I want to do here because I will wait and save the rest of, well, maybe we'll see. I'll wait and probably save some of those. But I'm going to put those 3 right there. So now it looks like those are hanging from the Those are hanging from the top of the page. I also know Sunday, Monday, I can cover Tuesday because I know what comes between Monday and Wednesday, right? We know that. We know that. Now, this would be fun too. And you know what, you guys? This could be something that you could even save for, I was going to say save for January for the winter. But you know what? That I think I would use on a layout. So those of you that are scrapbookers, I'd use that across the bottom of a page. If you're a card maker, you could use that across the bottom of a card. That would be really fun. I was going to say I could have also put it right there across the bottom of my calendar. That would have been cute too. Now we'll just bring in a few more of these little guys. So we'd put that right there. Super simple, right? The nice thing is too, we don't get too stressed out over this. You know why? Because it's our calendar. It doesn't really matter. We want it to be cute, but if it's not perfect, if it's not exactly how, we think that we want it, we're not going to get too critical. We're not going to worry about that because it is all about the fun, right? And then the word strip stickers are really fun to kind of just sprinkle in throughout. Jingle All the Way. And, how about Let It Snow? I mentioned Utah here, and we definitely get the snow. So that's definitely appropriate. But guess what? Even if you're not in an area where it snows, that's part of Christmas. So you could say, Let It Snow. Or Fa La La could go right there. So you guys, I could just keep going, right? We could keep adding stickers and adding stickers and adding stickers. And next thing you know, there is no room at all for me to actually write anything in our calendar, right? All right, you guys. So that wraps up December. That also wraps up 2019. Do you believe it? So thank you all so much for following along this year, no matter when you started, in my bi-monthly Traveler's Notebook kits. And as I mentioned before, I will be doing the kits continuing into 2020. So watch for information about that in like early December. Not long, probably after you start to put this one together. I will also have some fun new things. I have brand new, a couple of different Traveler's Notebook covers that I have coming in to kick off 2020 that I think you guys are really going to like. Until then, happy holidays. Have a safe and happy new year. And I will see you in 2020. Bye-bye.